clothes up again. She says she's out with friends. If I've got nothing else to do, she said I should come out too. Ooh. It's only 10:30. Thoughts of her keep drifting in. While nights around this town, I know how it's going down. Ooh. I don't know what this is, but it feels good. Standing in that dress, she looks real good. She looks over, we move closer. But I know when the night is through, that I'm in back to blue. I've been back to blue. I see those eyes again. I come and get me grin. She touches me as she walks past. I just can't help but to laugh. Ooh. I don't know what this is, but it feels good. Standing in that dress, she looks real good. She looks over, we move closer. But I know when the night is through, that I'm in back to blue. But I know when the night is through, that I'm in back to blue.
You're listening to the Jams and Coffee Morning Show with your host, Brad Brock.
Jams and Coffee Morning Show. You're on YouTube, Facebook, or streaming live on JNC Radio. You can listen to that, of course, through jncpodcast.com or on the free LIVE365 Radio App, available anywhere you get your apps. Nothing to sign up for. Just get in there, install it, search for JNC Radio, and stream this show live every weekday morning. It's Friday, folks. TGIF, TGIF. Woo! There's an air horn first thing in the morning. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thursday and are wide awake with me here on this beautiful, beautiful Treasure Coast Friday morning. I actually just was running a little bit late because I was they moved our trash day is normally on Thursdays, and they moved it to Fridays with the hurricane and everything. Rightfully so, makes sense. But I forgot until Jordan mentioned that it was trash day today, so we were getting the cans down there, and they only service one day a week here now. So I had to we got to get it out there, otherwise the trash piles up. It gets gross. But I digress. I hope everybody's enjoying their morning so far, and thank you so much for tuning in. Crazy stories today. I can't wait to get into it. We got lots to talk about, and I'd like your opinion on some of these things as well. We'll get into that. But I guess, as tradition states, we'll get into our weather here first. The look out the window here on the Treasure Coast from the legendary JNC Lounge. It's beautiful out. Blue skies, light breeze, cool temperature. Just a wonderful start to the day out here. Forecast says Nicole here today is a tropical depression and will fizzle out by the weekend. There's no other tropical development expected for at least the next 5 days. Woo. Nice little reprieve there. For Veterans Day this morning, temperatures are in the low to mid 70s here on the Treasure Coast and the mid to upper 70s for the Palm Beaches, with mainly dry conditions for the morning drive. Moving into the afternoon, the highs will be in the low to mid 80s with only a few afternoon showers and storms, and then clearing up by the evening time. So back to normal, back to a very normal Florida day here in November. So we also have Phillips' irrelevant jams and coffee irrelevant weather report. He said up in Tennessee it's 55 degrees this morning, and the rains are falling for the outer bands of the hurricane. No one is safe. He said Nashville got a little over 1.2 inches of rain overnight. However, at home, he said it was dry just 55 miles southeast of Nashville. He said the temps today are only going into the mid-60s, but a cold front's coming. So it's coming in from the west, and it'll chill them down up there into the 30s overnight. The highs to the mid and upper 50s. So he said snow flurries. Snow flurry activity is expected briefly Saturday overnight. So, tis the season. It's kind of like we talked about last week. I've already got my Christmas tree up. I'm ready. I'm ready for the holiday season. So don't judge me. I mean, you can, but you know, I don't care. It's my life, and I'm gonna live it. We have some national days today, but one really stands out among the rest, and that, of course, is Veterans Day. It is Veterans Day, November 11th, and, of course, it honors military veterans who served in the United States Armed Forces. A federal holiday coincides with Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, which marks World War I. These observances reflect the end of significant hostilities at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, when the armistice with Germany took effect. Initially, the United States observed Armistice Day as well. However, it evolved into the current Veterans Day in 1954. Veterans Day, of course, not to be confused with Memorial Day or Armed Forces Day. Veterans Day celebrates all United States military veterans. However, Memorial Day is, of course, set aside for remembering the men and women who died while serving. Additionally, Armed Forces Day recognizes the men and women currently serving in the United States military. So how to observe Veterans Day, if it's not completely obvious? We'll give you a little lesson here. Since Veterans Day is a federally designated holiday, many businesses and schools close for the day. Additionally, employers may recognize their veteran employees through special events. Throughout the day, local, state, and federal organizations host Veterans Day ceremonies. Non-essential federal government's offices close on this holiday, including all United States post offices. As a result, postal workers make no deliveries. Additionally, all federal workers receive holiday pay on Veterans Day. However, those who are required to work sometimes receive holiday pay in addition to their wages. Attend a ceremony and take a veteran you know out for a meal. Organize a veteran appreciation luncheon at your work or in your community. The United States Marine Corps customarily observes its birthday, November 10th, and Veterans Day as a 96-hour liberty period. And rightfully so. You can find Veterans Day deals honoring veterans on the celebration deals page on celebrateeverydaynationaldaycalendar.com, which is where we get our national days from. So thank you so much for your service, veterans. It is, I understand that sometimes it feels like you are forgotten. And hopefully the people and the powers that be are working on remedying that situation. But to the American people, you are not forgotten, and we thank you for your service. I personally thank you for your service. I know we have some veterans that tune in regularly here on the show, Mike Lebeck being one of them. Welcome to the show, Mike. And so we thank all our veterans. My dear sister, a veteran of the Air Force, so you don't take it lightly. So today's for you. All right. And I think that was really it for National Days. Not that here's one for you. It's also National Sundae Day. And it brings a celebration to ice cream lovers across the country. Enjoy one of every flavor and bring a friend. Especially if that friend is a veteran, buy them an ice cream sundae as well. So, yeah, it seems like a good day for some ice cream. But anyway, those are your national days today. Let's see. I was able to actually play my show at the Square Grouper in Fort Pierce last night. The rain cleared up enough, and had some friends come out. It was a wonderful night. I enjoyed it. My duo partner Tony was still cleaning up from the hurricane. He had some mess by his house that he had to sort out. So I was solo, but I had a great time. It was wonderful. I'm Mike Lebeck, as I mentioned, tuning in. He got to play for the first time at the Tipsy Tiki just up the street last night. So Mike, let me know how that show went, how you enjoyed that, and I'm sure you loved it. It's a great spot. What else, guys? Before I dive into these stories, I gotta prepare. Because some of these are pretty crazy. Most of these stories are wild today, and I can't wait to share them with you. I guess I'll dive right into it. Why not? Let's get right into the meat and potatoes here. A wild story out of Wisconsin, and this one listener discretion advised. This gets a little graphic, but here we are on the internet, where anything goes. So the headline reads: "Nurse amputates patient's foot without permission, and wanted to put it in a taxidermy shop." Oh. Just the headline makes me squirm. But let's read the story, Howie. Let's do it. The story goes, a Wisconsin nurse allegedly amputated a patient's foot without permission with hopes of displaying it in her family's taxidermy shop, according to a report from NBC News. Court documents say 38-year-old Mary Kay Brown removed a 62-year-old patient's frostbitten foot in Pierce County on May 27th. It happened at Spring Valley Health and Rehabilitation Center. A report says Brown was charged last week with physical abuse of an elderly person, intentionally causing great bodily harm and mayhem. That's right. In June, the county medical examiner contacted investigators after saying the body was sent for an autopsy because of the unusual circumstances of his death, according to NBC. The medical examiner said rather than the foot being attached to the body, it was lying beside the victim. The victim was taken to the rehabilitation center after he fell in his home when the heat went out, causing him to have severe frostbite on both of his feet. Brown said she cut off the foot in an act of compassion due to the dire state of his feet. Nurses who were interviewed by Pierce County Sheriff's investigator Pete Koch said the foot smelled and was black like a mummy. Hospice nurses also visited the patient frequently prior to the amputation and believed he would die soon, according to NBC. The center's director of nursing said a few days before the amputation, the victim's foot was, quote, dead, foul-smelling, and was held on by a tendon. Gross. Brown reportedly used scissors to cut a tendon, amputating his right foot altogether without a doctor's order. No. 2 other nurses were in the room at the same time. The foot was placed in a bag in a freezer to be sent with the victim when he died. Brown allegedly told Koch the victim didn't show any signs of pain and his stump was covered with gauze. However, according to a report from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, one of the nurses who was holding his hand said his grip was extremely tight and he was moaning a little bit during the amputation. Another nurse who spoke with the victim said he said, a weird way to say that. Another nurse who spoke with the victim said that he said when they cut his foot off, he felt everything and it hurt very bad. Blech. Brown said the patient complained about the smell and thought he would like it better amputated. A nurse told Koch that during the procedure, Brown talked about taking the victim's foot home and epoxying it. Another nurse who was not involved with the amputation said Brown has a taxidermy shop and said she was going to preserve the foot and put it on display with a sign that said, "Wear your boots, kids." The facility's administrator and CEO, Kevin Larson, said Brown did not do a report on the incident nor wrote anything in the victim's chart regarding the amputation. According to NBC, Larson believed a doctor would have given the order if asked. Does not believe Brown had any malicious motive. No, not malicious at all. Let's just cut off that foot and take it to my taxidermy shop. That's not malicious. Let me take this foot from this person. She didn't do that, by the way. Remained. But Brown will appear in court for her initial appearance at the Pierce County Courthouse on December 6th. The Associated Press reported, citing a complaint, the man was admitted to a health and rehab center after he fell at his home in March. And as mentioned, the heat was reportedly not turned on, and he got frostbite on his feet, causing the tissue to become necrotic. His right foot remained attached to his leg by a tendon and roughly 2 inches of skin, according to another report. Philip said, "That's not putting the best foot forward, is it?" Nope, I would think not. What in the world? I mean, I just don't, I don't know. This story threw me off so bad. I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, you're a medical professional looking after somebody, and I get it, man. I get it. You know, when things like that are going down, it stinks, it's weird, it's gross. But, like, it said that she cut it with scissors and put it in the freezer. I don't know. Stories like this that really make me not want to be anywhere near in or around the medical profession. I try to stay fit. I try to be careful when I do things. I have no desire, because I feel like I'll wake up and I'll be missing a limb. And they're just going to be like, oops, we attached the wrong file to this thing, or something got crossed and, we marked the wrong limb altogether. We weren't supposed to have anything removed, but oopsie. Oops. Basically, sign away all your rights when you go into the emergency room these days. Oh, you won't sue us for killing you. Won't matter. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, at least there was a reason for her to take action there. But you hear stories all the time of people going in to get an appendage amputated for whatever reason. They come out and the wrong one was taken off. And then they got to get the other one. And now they're just, limbless. Crazy story. 62 years old is not very old. That's wild. Clearly, he succumbed to his injuries. At least they gave him his foot back. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Where was his family? I don't know. Many questions. I'll be following this story very, very far away and not closely at all. The rest of these stories are about unearthing things. So this is a series of unearthing things, and two of them perhaps should not be unearthed. So it's going to go from things that are great to find, and we're going to go all the way down to things that you should never ever take out of the ground. Here we go. Starting with, actually, I think I might take a music break because I want to do all these stories in concession or secession. Secession. That sounds like the right word. We're going to take a music break. When we come back, we're going to get into these themed stories, things that we're unearthing here on the planet. So you're listening to Jams and Coffee in the Morning, and I appreciate you doing so. I'm going to play you one here from Vern Dazel. This is Feed Me. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're riding on a high called ego, serving up a high buffet, sipping on your lies, but you don't know. I don't believe a word you say, drowning on your own. Still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, but still you say, feed me. You're lost inside your own illusions, the king of your own fantasy, swimming in your own solution, lost in a world of make-believe, drowning on your own, but still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, but still you say, feed me. Drowning on your own, but still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, drowning on your own, but still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, but still you say, feed me.
All right, that was Vern Dazel with Feed Me. Welcome back to the Jams and Coffee morning radio program. I appreciate you tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, or listening in on JNC Radio. I am watching the chats and comments, so feel free to chime in if there's anything you want to talk about. I do want your opinion on some of these stories today, because it's just bizarre. Sometimes some days show up, and like the stories are so just uninteresting, and then other days show up, man, and these stories just blow my mind. So here, as previously mentioned, these are stories about unearthing things. And we're going to start with a kind of a cool story, I think, that they've stumbled upon this. And so here it goes. A section of the destroyed Space Shuttle Challenger was found on the ocean floor. A large section of the destroyed Space Shuttle Challenger has been found buried in the sand at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean more than 3 decades after the tragedy that killed a schoolteacher and 6 others. NASA's Kennedy Space Center announced the discovery Thursday. Upon first hearing about it, it brings you right back to 1986, said Michael Cianilli, a NASA manager in charge of the remains of both lost shuttles, the Challenger and the Columbia. In a NASA interview, he said it's one of the biggest pieces of the Challenger ever found in the decades since the accident. Divers for a television documentary crew first spotted the piece in March while seeking wreckage of a World War II plane. NASA recently verified through video that the piece was part of the shuttle that broke apart shortly after liftoff back in January 28th, 1986. All 7 on board were killed, including the first school teacher bound for space, Krista McAuliffe. The remnant is more than 15 feet by 15 feet. It's likely bigger because a part of it is covered with sand. Because of the presence of square thermal tiles, it's believed to be from the shuttle's belly. According to officials, the fragment remains on the ocean floor just off the Florida coast near Cape Canaveral as NASA determines what to do next. It remains the property, of course, of the U.S. government. Cianilli said the families of all 7 Challenger crew members have been notified, and a History Channel documentary detailing the discovery will air November 22nd, so just a few weeks from now. And you'll get to see all about it. I think that's an interesting, what a freak find. In all of that area, they managed to find those pieces. One step closer to putting together that puzzle. So that's the first part of this series of unearthing things. Next, we're getting into the realm of things you should just not unearth. Things you should just put back and forget that you ever saw it. Okay, we'll start with this one. And we wonder why the world is like coming to an end here. It's because of stuff like this. Nosy people. Anyway, so as I mentioned also, we're kind of going through things from the least intrusive discoveries to things that should just be left alone. So here we go. And this is actually local news here in Martin County. It appears that Hurricane Nicole has unearthed a grisly discovery in Martin County. Martin County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy John Budenseek told WPTV on Thursday afternoon that crime scene technicians were investigating what's believed to be a Native American burial ground on Chastain Beach on South Hutchinson Island. He said strong winds from Nicole which made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane just south of Vero Beach early Thursday, churned up the sand and unearthed the remains of at least 6 bodies. A photo from the Martin County Sheriff's Office showed a decomposing skull emerging from the sand. The beachgoer told WPTV just found a bone lying around, washed up. Chief Deputy John Budenseek said beachgoers came upon an old human skull and then some arm and leg bones. Deputies didn't disturb the site. Good for you. Identifying it as a federally protected Native American burial ground. Budenseek said detectives took photographs of the bones for the medical examiner's office to review. Budenseek said they were able to tell us that the bones appear to be over 200 years old. Tina Osceola is the director of the Seminole tribe of Florida's Atati Key Museum. And she told WPTV that they are ancestors of the Seminole people. You know, they are our ancestors. That we do know. I read a different story, other than this one, that said they were planning to remove the bones to be sent for carbon dating in Gainesville or something like that. And that's not included in this story, so maybe I was wrong. But my thought on that is, don't move those bones. My goodness. How many haunted house stories start with, it was built on a Native American burial site? Terrifying. It's terrifying. What curses will be unleashed upon us by disturbing this? Now, thankfully, in this scenario, it was Mother Nature that exposed, and I genuinely believe that people are trying to preserve what's left of the area and make sure that these people are left at rest properly. So hopefully the Native American spirits look kindly on that gesture and are not out there cursing those who now inhabit the land. We'll find out if anything wonky starts happening, or locusts, or all that other business. So that story's I'm on the fence. You know, what else do? You can't just have bones laying around. I get it. So there's that. This next story, though, it just makes me shake my head. Archaeologists they're just determined to unleash all the curses of the ancient Egyptians. I think that's what their goal is. I think their goal is to get in there and open enough sarcophagi to unleash hell on earth. And let's read the story. Archaeologists say that they found a tunnel under an Egyptian temple that could lead to Cleopatra's tomb. How exciting. A 4,281-foot-long tunnel discovered about 43 feet under the Egyptian desert is being called an engineering miracle, but is also believed to be inching archaeologists ever closer to finding the lost tomb of Cleopatra. And from where I sit, some lost things do not need to be found at all. Anybody seen the movies, the mummy movies? Lord. An archaeologist from the University of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic has devoted nearly 20 years of her career to finding the Queen's lost tomb. This is all your fault. Kathleen Martinez and her team uncovered the tunnel, which was recently announced by the Egyptian Ministry for Tourism and Antiquities. The tunnel was located in the Tapuziris Magna Temple area, west of the Egyptian city of Alexandria. The statement gave details on the tunnel's condition, saying a part of the tunnel was discovered submerged under the Mediterranean water. A number of pottery vessels and pottery tractors were found under the mud sediment, as well as a rectangular block of limestone. Parts of the Tapuziris Magna Temple have been submerged underwater. The Egyptian Dominican Archaeological Mission of the University of San Domingo noted in their statement that at least 23 earthquakes hit the Egyptian coast between 320 AD and 1303 AD, leading to the collapse of part of the Tabuzi Temple. The president of the Tapuziris Magna Temple area is said to have drowned beneath the waves. Cleopatra's husband, the Roman general Mark Antony, is said to have died in her arms in 30 BCE. Cleopatra then took her own life by letting an asp, which is a venomous snake, bite her, according to many Egyptian historians. While Cleopatra's life has been marked by multiple works of literature and popular films, not much is known about her remains or their location. Martinez said that Cleopatra was known during her time to be the human incarnation of the goddess of Isis. Martinez said if the tunnel ends up leading to Cleopatra's tomb, it will be the most important discovery of the century. Don't open it. Oh my God. They start opening tombs in ancient Egypt, and then weird stuff starts happening. I blame everything on that. Everything bad going on in the world today is from opening the tombs of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. That's where it all comes from. That's where it all stems from. Just stop looking, you Indiana Jones sons of guns. Not completely unnecessary. Just leave them under the earth where they were put on purpose. And I believe that's the difference. You know, the Native American burial ground, it wasn't exposed on purpose. It was a natural phenomenon that exposed them, and people are really trying to get it sorted out. This is blatantly going in and Indiana Jonesing everything. Let's go in here. Let's rifle through all of Cleopatra's earthly possessions and piss off her spirit to unleash havoc on Earth. I've seen the movie. I rid the ride. I don't need it in real life. Drums and Rums, Paul tuning in. He said, look at you back at it up early. I never stopped. Never stopped, Paul. Still doing it. I wasn't able, I was playing last night, so I wasn't able to catch Paul's live stream. But as usual, I will go and watch it today. Hopefully without technical snafus this time, my friend. But I'll take a peek back at that. Check out the Drums and Rums podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, check out Paul's live streams on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. The biggest happy hour in a half hour. Always a good time. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Seriously, though, I kind of want to put a poll out. How many of you think that archaeologists should just leave well enough alone in ancient Egypt and the Egyptian tombs? Stop unearthing these people. And how many of you think they should go further and find Cleopatra's final resting place? I'm against it. I think they should just leave well enough alone. We have the stories. We have the mysteries. Some mysteries don't need to be solved. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, that was my stories today. We do have some celebrity birthdays. Let's unearth some of those. See what I did there? Anyway, turning 48 years old today, a whopping 48 years old today. The actor who first rose to prominence for his roles in the 1990s films, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Romeo and Juliet, and Titanic. Of course, we're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, celebrating his 48th trip around the sun today. He went on to star in Catch Me If You Can. I love that film. Blood Diamond, The Departed, and Inception. He won an Academy Award for Best Actor for his role as Hugh Glass in the 2015 film The Revenant. Leonardo DiCaprio, happy birthday. Turning the big 6-0 today, actress whose starring role in Ghost earned her a Golden Globe nomination. She later starred in Striptease, Disclosure, G.I. Jane, The Juror, The Scarlet Letter, and Indecent Proposal. We're talking about, of course, Demi Moore. Demi Moore turning 60 years old today. Just a couple of years older than her, turning 62. Longtime actor known for his work in such films as Big Night, The Devil Wears Prada, The Terminal, Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, Transformers, Age of Extinction, and the Hunger Games franchise. None other than Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci was cast as Cadenza in the 2017 film Beauty and the Beast. Cadenza. That's Stanley Tucci, 62. And our baby birthday today, turning 26 years old, film actor who plays Cyclops in the 2016 blockbuster X-Men Apocalypse, Ty Sheridan. He's turning 26. He also played prominent roles in films Joe, Mud, and The Tree of Life. In 2018, he starred as the main character in the Steven Spielberg film Ready Player One. Ty Sheridan. So happy birthday to our celebrities out there. Yeah. You know what, guys? This might be a short show today. I've got quite a bit to do, but I'm going to give you some shameless plugs, and then get you on with your day. Get this Friday started early. Some shameless plugs. I am off tonight. It's date night with Jordan, so we'll be going to the Thrillville Fair at the Clover Park baseball fields in Port St. Lucie. So I've been seeing the billboard signs for it all around town. Very excited. I love fairs. This is a unusual one because it's earlier than fair season. So I hope they have all the good food and all the good fair stuff. So we'll take some photos, post them on our socials. But yes, that's what I'm doing tonight. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, I will be at the Island Beach Bar in Ocean Village on Hutchinson Island in Fort Pierce. That's where Savannah, Jordan's sister, of course, works there as a bartender. So I'll be playing there. Savannah will be slinging the drinks. It'll be a JNC reunion. So come out and see us 6 to 9 on Saturday. And then I'm off on Sunday. Sunday, I think, is going to be decorating the Christmas tree and Christmas decoration day. So, Jordan, if you're listening, put it on the schedule. The schedule. Let's see. Of course, check out JNC Radio, our companion internet radio station to our podcast network. You can find that at jncpodcast.com and stream it right from there. Or, as mentioned earlier, you can download the free Live365 Radio App wherever you get your apps. It's completely free, nothing to sign up for, no accounts to make. You don't have to attach it to your Facebook. You just get in there, search for JNC Radio. It'll pop right up, add us to your favorites, and stream music all day. Listen to the morning shows during the week, and catch our podcasts on Wednesday when we go back to being live next month. So check out that, JNC Radio. As mentioned earlier, check out the Drums and Rums podcast and the biggest happy hour and a half hour from our good friend Paul Robertson. Wonderful podcast, wonderful live stream. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Whenever he posts something, you can always find it at jncpodcast.com, and you can link it right out to his YouTube channel or his website, and follow him there wherever you can. Of course, a big shout out to our friends at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, and the Bug Juice. Bug Juice line of bug repellents and skincare products. Check them out. Support the people who support us, and support local whenever you can. If you are able and interested, you can support us at our Patreon page. It's a subscription-based crowdfunding service, and it's $5 a month, and you get some behind-the-scene footage whenever it pops up, whenever we do something funny off air, and if it manages to be caught on film, we'll put it up there. Special features, breaking news, all that stuff, we'll be posting on our Patreon page. You'll be the first to know, and supporting our cause, which is to basically abuse ourselves with fun challenges and things like that. So you can help us out there. $5 a month. If you can afford it, great. If not, we love you anyway. There's really no pressure. Well, let's see. What else? I think that's it for shameless plugs. Philip said, I understand history and learning about it, but don't like them removing the remains or items sent with them. Right? That's how the plagues start, man. I don't even like that they're going in there. Like, that air has been sealed in there for so long. What's going on? Don't let that out on the earth. It's meant to be buried forever. No reason. Whenever it gives me chills whenever you see a mummy in a museum. Unbelievable. Anyway, on to better things. Paul said, I meant back at it from yesterday morning. Yes. You know, I was looking back on this show too, and realized that I've been doing it since July, regularly. Like, I feel like we you know, I mean, back in July, I was trying to do it at 7 in the morning, and realized that was just punishment. And then I caught a really bad cold and was like, nah, I think I need that 1 extra hour of sleep is important to my psyche. And here we are, kicking it off at 8 o'clock and running it for an hour. That seemed to be the magic thing. As long as I can keep y'all's attention most of the time. and for me, it gives me an extra hour of sleep and less work trying to fill 2 hours of time. So I do appreciate you guys. From July, you guys have been hanging with me almost every single morning, and I really, really, truly appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot of new things. Being able to read the news, I feel hip and with it. Keeping an eye on current events, so to speak. But you guys are awesome. Philip said, time flies when you're having fun. It sure does. It really, truly does. And I appreciate you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The weather's supposed to be really nice here and up in Tennessee, apparently. It'll be a little chilly there. So maybe you'll do a bonfire or something, Philip. And become a meteorologist, too. That's correct. All right, that does it for me. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for your service, veterans out there. Truly, truly appreciated. Today's for you. I hope that you get a bunch of drinks and meals bought for you. You deserve it. So I will catch you back here Monday morning, 8 a.m. Thanks for joining me this morning. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge. I'm Brad Brock. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Tune in again tomorrow morning for the latest local buzz, national headlines, music news and more on JNC in the Morning, right here on Facebook and YouTube.